Alright guys, our next guest is known for keeping real and never backing down from a challenge. He'll be taking on Andre Fili, UFC Fight Night Poland on October 21st, but in the meantime, he's one of the few close men that has been helping Conor McGregor prepare for the mega fight against Floyd Mayweather this weekend. He joins us to discuss that. He's the Russian hammer himself, Artem Lobov. Welcome back to the show. How's it going?
It's all good. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me once again.
The pleasure's ours, and thank you for squeezing us into your super busy schedule. Now, it's the week of one of the biggest fights in history, and we can imagine your schedule is super busy. So tell us, whereabouts are you joining us from right now, and what were you doing just before jumping on with us?
Well, I'm just at the fighters and coaches' house right now. I'm just relaxing. It's been a busy day, as you said. I'm sure you've been watching that media kind of thing we had at the T-Mobile Arena. You know, it was outside as well. I'm not sure whose idea it was to have it outside. It's August, and we're in the middle of the desert. It was so hot in there. You know, I'm not really sure whose idea that was, but it's all good. We got over it. But anyway, yeah, it's good to be back home now and just relaxing, and probably going to sit by the pool for a bit afterwards.
Wow, just curious, what time is it there at the moment where you are?
It's 10 to 10 now.
Wow, how about... Wow, 10 to 10 and you're squeezing us in. How nice is that? One of the things that we didn't properly see, because it's still sort of early in the day here in Australia, is apparently there was some, you know, we all saw obviously the back and forth between Conor and Paulie Malignaggi, but apparently there was a bit of back and forth between the teams, Team McGregor and Team Mayweather, allegedly some pushing, some shoving. What exactly happened?
Yeah, I think just the two teams were walking past each other, and you know, obviously the fight is so close right now. You know, the tension is high, and you know, just it got a little bit. We kind of got close to each other, but nothing really happened. You know, there was no really pushing or anything. You know, there was loads of security there, so you know, it was all under control. But you know, nothing really happened.
And talk to us a little bit about the Malignaggi situation, because we know he was over at the camp for a little bit, and there was those two sparring sessions. From what you understand, how exactly did that come about that him and Conor ended up face to face, and what did you think of the situation?
Yeah, I think that was just an accident that it happened that way. I mean, obviously he works for Showtime. He's the commentator. So he was there. He was present there, and we were just, you know, walking past, and they kind of ran into each other. But, you know, Malignaggi, and look, everybody's going to say, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, dish him over. But no, like, let's be honest. He's never received so much media attention in his life. Even when he fought for those titles back in the day, he never experienced this level of interest in his persona as he is right now. So he is just, as everything kind of died down a little bit and no one was talking about him anymore, you know, he missed that spotlight, I think, and he just wanted to probably run into Conor and try and start something else out of there. Or maybe he's thinking, try and get a fight in the future, but, you know, he is just not in the same league as Conor. So we all already saw that fight, and there's no need to see that beatdown anymore.
Because I was going to ask you about that, because a lot of people are saying, oh, Malignaggi is the next guy for McGregor. So there's no real, from what you understand, there's no real interest from Team McGregor to potentially fight him next.
Well, for us, I mean, I don't know, unless, like I said, you know, everybody always talks about Conor, says this and the other, but he truly is a man that likes a challenge. I mean, he's doing this fight. Why? Because no one before him was able to beat Floyd Mayweather. That's why Conor is here, to prove that, yes, it can be done. But Malignaggi doesn't present any kind of a challenge. So, you know, Conor doesn't fight just for the money. You know, the money is the last thing on his mind. Or maybe not the last thing on his mind, of course, you know, it plays a big part, but he needs a challenge. You know, it needs to be someone that will truly push him to the next level. So Malignaggi is not one of those guys. So I really doubt it's going to be him.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I look at this situation, Artem, and it's like this fight was rumored for so long, you know, even before it was official. You know, the build-up's been crazy, the world tour, you and all the guys, you know, you're living in the same house, you're training together every day, you know, it's another interview, it's another something, and I feel like, you know, some of the tension here between, like, even the Team McGregor and Team Mayweather, it's really just because everyone's tired and everyone just wants this fight to happen already. Do you sort of get a little bit like that? Are you getting a little bit tired? You just want to sort of have this, you know, have this fight happen already?
Not at all, man. I am as energized as ever. I am loving this. This whole camp, everything, every day has been just a blessing, and I've enjoyed every second of it. So, I mean, yeah, of course, I really want to see the fight because obviously, I can't wait for it. But at the same time, I loved every second and still continue to enjoy myself. I'm not tired at all. I could do another 5 of these camps.
Wow, that's awesome. It's good to hear the positive vibes. You've obviously been, part of Conor's biggest fights. The Aldo knockout when he became the featherweight champ, the Diaz fights, the Alvarez fight when he became the dual champ. Does this fight week feel any different to any of those?
I mean, not really. I mean, obviously everybody says, oh, this is the biggest fight ever, but that was always the case for the other fights as well. They've always seemed like the biggest fights ever. So it just feels like normal again. It just feels like we've been here before many, many times.
And you mentioned some of the fun things that you guys have been getting up to in the lead up to this fight. Have you had any highlights or anything that stand out to you personally from some of the build-up, some of the press conferences, some of the crazy trips that you guys have taken in the lead up to this thing?
I've actually been asked this today earlier, and like I said then as well, as like this whole camp, the whole world tour, the whole everything just felt like one big crazy experience that I just absolutely loved being part of. So it's hard to pick one moment or the other. There were so many great moments. That's why I just feel I take it in as just one whole experience.
We always say this to Kavanagh, to Roddy, to everyone. You guys are like living in like a big episode of Entourage, and you guys are going to look back on it and enjoy the memories. But let's talk about the actual preparation. Yeah. You've obviously sparred with Conor for years and years now. You've had infamous epic wars in the gym. Since him switching his focus to strictly boxing, how different has he felt in sparring? Is there a noticeable difference in his boxing technique or his skill, or have you found him to be maybe a more challenging opponent in sparring?
Yeah, he's just been as sharp as ever, except now, I couldn't really use the wrestling or maybe, some jiu-jitsu or whatever to kind of to take the focus off the strikes for a bit, to get a little breather in there. Now it was all strikes. But it's been great, it was, I really enjoyed this transition, and I really enjoyed being part of this camp. It gave me also a chance to work on just my hands, which is not something you get to do often as an MMA fighter. You always sort of have to, balance it out between all the other martial arts as well as boxing. Whereas now I was able to just take, some weeks and concentrate on my hands only as well. So it's been great, and it's been very, very enjoyable.
It's interesting that you say that, Artem, because obviously Conor McGregor, if he does win on the weekend, will become one of the biggest names in boxing. And you having sparred with him and gotten him ready for this fight and gotten your hands and your boxing sharper, has the thought of possibly going into boxing yourself crossed your mind at all during this whole preparation?
Absolutely. I almost got my professional boxing license about 3 years ago. I was looking to compete, and I met the commission, the Irish Boxing Commission, and they just told me at the time that if I was to get a boxing license, I would not be allowed to compete in MMA anymore. It would have to be just boxing. I'd have to just commit to boxing, and that was the main reason why I didn't do it that time. But it certainly has crossed my mind plenty of times. I mean, I understand. I am signed to UFC as well, and I understand that this boxing fight is probably, I'm not at that level to be able to call for a boxing fight, unless it was like on the undercard of one of Conor's boxing fights. But if it was my decision, yeah, I absolutely would love to.
Yeah, that'd be amazing to see. I'm just wondering, we talked about the sparring sessions. How special will it feel for you if Conor goes out there and beats Floyd, knowing that you were one of those guys that helped him prepare not only for this fight but the majority of his career?
It's going to be very special, and I always say it's like I know it's going to happen, but still, when it does happen, it's still a very huge moment for me. Even that Aldo knockout, I knew he was going to spar him quick, but when it happened, I still couldn't contain my emotions. I was just going crazy, and I was absolutely over the moon, and just very, very excited. And I think it's going to be the same this time. When he knocks him out, I'm going to go crazy.
And Floyd Mayweather, he's been saying some comments about how Conor's looking heavy. Can you give us an update? How is the weight cut going? How much is Conor weighing at the moment? And is everything going okay with the weight cut leading into this fight?
One thing I'll tell that everything is going to plan. The preparation has been perfect. No stone has been left unturned. His diet has been on point. His weight is perfect. Like we always speak, boxers they live in the dark ages. You know, they don't see the technology. Everything is moved forward. The weight cutting science has moved forward as well. You know, which allows you to make bigger cuts. Like MMA guys do massive cuts. And feel just fine the next day. I mean, one thing you need to know is that Conor has made 145 before, so 154 is not going to be a problem.
We also saw that you will officially be part of the cornering team for this fight. Obviously yourself, John Kavanagh, and Owen Roddy. And John Kavanagh said that, you know, it will be primarily Owen Roddy speaking in the corner. So what exactly will your role be on the night? What are sort of your duties while you're in the corner?
Yeah, so the way we kind of always work it is that whoever is the lead in the corner, which this time is going to be Owen Roddy. Normally, when it's MMA fights, it's John Kavanagh. And, you know, we just sit there and whatever, if I see something, I just say it to the lead man, which this time is going to be Roddy. And then he can decide in his mind whether this needs to be said to Conor or whether he will say it between rounds or maybe it doesn't need to be said at all. But that's the way it works. You know, you just want to hear one voice from the corner, just one person speaking. And then the rest, you know, just say it to him.
And that's going to be an amazing moment because a lot of people are saying this is the biggest fight in sports history. How does it feel for you to know that you're going to be walking out with Conor and being in his corner and being such a big part of such a historic night?
It's incredible. You know, it's just unbelievable. I was just over the moon to be in the corner, of course, and just be on this whole journey. It's been a crazy one for sure, and a very unique one. I don't think anyone has ever been on a journey like that. So I just consider myself very lucky to be on this journey. And once again, I'm going to enjoy every second out there, and I'm going to try and take it all in for me as well, because very often sometimes you're just there, and then next thing you know, and it's gone. Whereas, you know, it's such an important moment and such a huge moment for combat sports that, you know, I want to kind of take it in a little bit. Yeah.
And speaking of the entrance, anything special planned for the entrance?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm
not really sure to be.
Let me ask you this. We saw that Conor McGregor had his belts flown from Ireland to Vegas. Will he be walking out wearing those belts and sort of showing off his accolades throughout his MMA career?
Not really sure, to be honest with you, on that one. It's kind of one of those, you know, details that, you know, we'll see. It'll be decided. We'll see what happens.
One of the interesting things, obviously, going into this fight is going to be the glove size. We now know it's going to be 8 ounces, and Floyd Mayweather was surprisingly the one who sort of brought it up. Were you surprised when he sort of brought this whole thing up? And how do you feel now that it is 8-ounce gloves? Do you think it makes much of a difference and gives Conor more of a chance in winning this fight?
Absolutely. I'm delighted that it's 8 ounces now. I mean, think about it. You know, Conor now, you know, Conor's power is going to be felt a lot more now that it's 2 ounces smaller. And Floyd, as a defensive boxer, he's got less to hide behind as well, you know, for protection. So I am absolutely delighted after especially feeling them gloves and, you know, putting them on and just realizing how little is in them. It's definitely a good thing. And I think it's a thing that backfired on Mayweather. You know, I always call it like a safe call out. You know, people often do it to Conor. They call him out, guys call him out that know that the fight can never happen. That fight can never happen. So they just mention his name, they get all the kind of media that goes with it, and then they never have to face him. So I feel that Mayweather wanted to do the same here. He wanted to bluff, you know, say, oh, I don't care about the gloves. He was sure that this would not be allowed. He thought that once it's 154, it has to be 10 ounces. And it just backfired on him. And he's probably kicking himself right now.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. A lot of people would agree with you. A lot of people would say that it was sort of like mind games by Mayweather. And what do you think about the mind games in general? That, you know, you can see Mayweather's played throughout this whole time. You can see that he's releasing videos where he's sort of, you know, pretending to look like he's old and feeling tired after workouts. He keeps talking about his age and, you know, his historically broken hands and then the glove change. You know, what sort of Mayweather are you actually expecting on the night? Do you think he'll be the prime Mayweather that we've sort of seen throughout his career?
I think he's going to be in good shape. You know, all that, you know, I can see through that, you know, that's all bullshit. You know, you can see all that playing it down stuff. He is known for doing that in the past. But, you know, as a fighter, you see right through it. You see the bullshit. But some of the things that I was looking at that maybe other people didn't really notice, like for example the workouts. Look at Conor's workout. That's a proper workout. He done 12 rounds straight through as a fight, and he didn't slow down till even in the last round. What that shows you. That shows you the fitness level he's at. Then look at the Mayweather's workout. He's barely hitting the bag. He talks his way out of fatigue. Every time he feels a little bit tired, he's stepping away from the bag and asking to change music or do something or get him this or get him that. Those are the signs that I will pick up on. And normal people will just, let them go by and don't even realize what's happening there.
Mm-mm. And Artem, we want to thank you for your time because it is late at night. We'll let you go in just a couple of questions. One of the things that Mayweather also has said that people are finding hard to believe is that he said he's going to come forward and try and knock Conor McGregor out to make an exciting fight. Does anybody in Team McGregor actually believe that statement?
Not really, no. I don't think so. I don't think anyone believes that because he's going to do what he's good at. And if he doesn't, even if he doesn't, one shot, he'll hit one shot, and that's it. He'll go on the back foot again. He'll be defensive for sure. So, and to be honest, for us, it doesn't really make a difference. I mean, look at Conor's fights. He's got guys that came aggressive at him, and they got sparked quickly. And he had guys that were defensive and were on the back foot, and they also got killed. So it makes no difference really to us. But if you really ask for my opinion, I think Mayweather is going to be very defensive.
And, obviously we're not expecting you to give away the game plan, but is it safe that Conor will fight sort of more of an MMA style as opposed to trying to be, a better boxer than Mayweather? Obviously he's not going to get himself disqualified or anything like that, but will he be looking to sort of explore the full boundaries of the boxing rules and, use some unorthodox techniques in this fight?
He will fight him all styles. He'll be there and then he won't. King Ghost.
I mean, every expert under the sun is weighing in and giving their thoughts on the fight. Most of them aren't giving Conor McGregor much of a chance. What do you think will be the biggest surprise for people on August 26th?
Well, there'll be no surprise for me. I'll tell you that. There'll be no surprises for anyone on our team. Everything is going to go according to our plan. So as for the rest, I don't really care what they'll get surprised by.
All right, Adam. Well, look, we've taken up enough of your time. As we let you go, it is obviously customary to get predictions from not only Conor himself, but the entire team before the fights. This might be your final chance. What is the final prediction for the weekend? How is Conor getting it done against Floyd?
Yeah, my original prediction was 6 rounds, but after feeling the 8-ounce gloves and how little is in them, I changed it to 4 rounds now.
Wow, 4 rounds. And just quickly, final question. What does sort of the next few days look like for you guys? Obviously, you got, some media obligations, but in terms of preparation, is everything done? Is there anything that you'll still be sort of helping Conor with, any other preparation? Or is it just, I guess, relax, take your mind off the fight from here on out?
No, of course, there's still, we're taking over, slowly. Of course, now weight has to be made and, the diet has to be on point. So this is what will be involved in over the next few days.
All right, guys. Well, he is fighting Andre Fili at UFC Fight Night Poland on October 21st. We'll get him back on the show to talk about that fight. But for now, he's got a huge, huge fight with his friend and training partner, Conor McGregor, as he fights in the biggest fight of all time, August 26th, T-Mobile Arena, and 27th here in Australia. Of course, follow him on Twitter at RussHammer MMA. Artem, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck this week. And we hope that you take it in as much as you can because it will be something people will be talking about for a long, long time.
For sure. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me.